Yo, what's going on everybody? It's your boy Kaio and I'm back again this time to give you another One Piece video, and in today's video I'm going to be discussing how strong do I think Eustass Kid will be after Wano. Of course I have done 4 previous videos on this now, one on Luffy, one on Zoro, one on Trafalgar Law and one on Sanji, and out of all the how strong videos thus far, Eustass Kid is probably going to be my favourite one to do. And why, you may ask? It's because people are finally starting to put some respect on Eustass Kid's name, because way before that I know a lot of people used to actually call him Useless Kid. It used to get on my nerves because I always knew he'd do something special, that he's one of the top supernova for a reason, and now here we go with Wano, and it's exactly what a lot of fans have wanted, seeing Luffy, Law and Kid once again together just like they were back on Sabaody Archipelago. But enough of that, let's actually start talking about Eustass Kid. With Eustass Kid, he hasn't really been shown much in the New World, he hasn't really been shown much pre-time skip. He was just known as one of the most deadliest supernova out there. He had a higher bounty than Luffy in pre-time skip, and it's only just now after the New World that Luffy's actually racked up a bounty higher than Eustass Kid. And to be fair, after Wano his bounty is going to increase and a considerable amount, and now knowing the fact that he has Conqueror's Haki just goes to prove how dangerous he potentially is. It hasn't really been confirmed that he has Colour of Observational or Colour of Armament, but most likely he's going to have all 3 of them anyway, because when you're in the New World it's not something where you're going to need all 3 to go into the New World. When you look at Trafalgar Law, although he isn't confirmed to have Conqueror's Haki, and I did say that he is most likely going to, and it's going to be revealed during this war, he does have the other 2. He does have Observational, he does have Armament Haki, so it only makes sense that Eustass Kid does. And to be fair, when you look at Eustass Kid and the way that he's actually been able to keep up with Luffy, and I don't mean by strength, because I think people got a bit confused on the last video when I spoke about Trafalgar Law, so I just actually want to clear that up with the whole Trafalgar Law business. I'm not saying he's as strong as Luffy in terms of raw power, but he is up there when it comes to planning, being strategic. That's where he's most powerful and can be most deadly. And to be fair, yeah, like I said, the Oppi Oppi Nomi is a very, very dangerous and powerful devil fruit. Of course, I do think that, yeah, Luffy would absolutely whip him in a fight, but I don't think he'd whip him with ease. But going back to Eustass Kid, on the other hand, he's pretty much up there with Luffy and Law, because at the end of the day, they're the 3 that stand on top. Compared to all the other supernova, I think the only person that probably would come close if you want to put him on a full spot is probably Aruj, only because of the fact that he was actually able to take on a sweet commander, which obviously was Snack. He did beat him, but then he was defeated by Cracker and then was forced to flee from Totoland. But Kid obviously went to Totoland and he actually damaged one of the sweet commanders. We still don't know which sweet commander it is. A lot of people, like myself, think it was Smoothie. With Cracker, on the other hand, you saw how difficult it was for Luffy to fight him at first until he went into Tank Man and then beat him. And Katakuri, no. I personally just don't see Kid or Law actually defeating someone like Katakuri. Not because they're weak, but when you look at Katakuri, he's very high tier, like very, very high tier of first commander. And it took Luffy to transform into Snake Man to beat him. And the fact that where Katakuri has his future Haki sight, that also plays into effect as well. By the end of this series, I think that maybe Kid and Law could actually beat Katakuri, but at this moment in time, no. But that does not mean that they are weak to go against who they are going up against now, which is obviously Big Mom's crew and Kaido's. Of course, we know that Kid 110% wants Kaido's head, especially the fact that he's angered after what happened to Killer with the whole smiley fruit. Like, he is literally raging right now. Of course, he's very caring. You can see that, especially when it comes to his crew. Obviously, he's not going to show it to other pirates like Luffy and Law. Obviously, they're his rivals for a reason, but when it comes to his own crew, he does have feelings. And you could tell the whole crew care about Killer. The fact that they were all smiling and laughing as well along with him, just to make Killer feel that he's not out of place, because we know exactly what happens. Of course, they're smiling all the time, but they're generally like, well, this is not my emotion, but I can't handle it. I'm just smiling all the time and just laughing. So Kid wants Kaido's head. And do I think he will get Kaido's head? To be honest, yeah, because he is a nutcase. Like, he is an absolute nutter that will do anything to get what he wants. And I really do think that by the end of this, if Kaido definitely does die in Wano, my god, that is going to look scary but awesome at the same time, just to see Kid parading around going, I've got Kaido's head, ha 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 ha, I'm going to stick it here so everyone can see that I mean business. And by the end of the series, Kid is going to be a Yonko. I know people are like, probably like, no, I don't think Kid will be a Yonko, because I know some people are saying that Law, they don't think that he will be a Yonko by the end of the series, but I don't know, I feel like it's the time. Kaido, Big Mom, yeah, they're not going to be around forever. Of course, the lifespan of One Piece characters is like over 100. We know from Dr. Kureha, that practically confirms it, but I think that, of course, it's pretty much still in their prime. They're not really like too old to fight. It's pretty much there, but I think it's about time that people like the next generation from the new era, of this era that we're currently in now, there's going to be some new Yonko. So, who do I think that Kid is most likely going to fight during this war. He is most likely going to be taking on some of the big high-ranking like beast pirates to do with Kaido. Of course he wants to fight Kaido, but I think he may have somewhat an involvement in that fight, but not too much. I think he might actually generally sway more to the Big Mum side, only because there's now 2 Yonko. And it's funny how that when you look in that chapter, Kid's like, oh, Big Mum's here. Why Kid? Why not Law? Why would it not be like Law being like, oh crap, Big Mum's lot here? The reason I'm saying this is because as much as Big Mum's going to want revenge on Luffy, obviously he's the main focus, like that's the one she wants, but knowing the fact that Kid is there as well, and knowing that he hurt one of her family, which is one of the Sweet Commanders, she's obviously going to want to go for someone like him as well. So I think that Kid's battles may lie more with the Big Mum pirates once that's all sorted. Depend on what happens with the Big Mum crew, of course, 'cause I still think there might be a bit of a split in the alliance between Big Mum and Kaido, and there is 2 reasons that I do have in my mind. The first one I did in a previous video, which you should go check that out, which is to do with Yamato, and basically what I stated in that video was that he may not want to marry one of Big Mum's daughters because he may have a bit of a crush on Robin. I know that is a long shot, but Robin is very pretty, and if he is the dude that was literally staring at Robin and Jinbei, it could be a possibility, but it's a long shot. So that is a reason, possibly. And my other reasoning being is because obviously Big Mum wants Luffy dead. She's going to want him all to herself, but then also so is Kaido. So they could have a big fat off argument between them saying, well, I want Luffy because he came to my territory, beat my son up, and then left and got away. Whereas Kaido could be like, well, he's been doing all this stuff since Punk Hazard, messing up my smile fruits, beating up Joe Card, like the whole stuff on Dressrosa, all the events just leading up. So there could be some big ass tear up between the both of them, which could basically split the alliance, or there could be another reason for that to happen. But I guess we will just actually have to wait and see which one it could potentially be, or it could be something different, or maybe Yamato will actually marry whoever the daughter may be, which could be Smoothie. I mean, to be fair, Smooth Thick, of course. But if he does marry her, then, you know, there could be a big battle, which I now want to include Kid, because I said I thought that he could fight Law, Luffy, or Zoro, and that still may very well happen. It could be one of those 3, but I think Kid may actually be a great contender because, of course, yeah, he wants Kaido's head, but going through his son first would actually be epic as hell. Like, I would enjoy that. Although I said I wanted Luffy to fight him because, like, the whole sort of Enies Lobby type thing where he fought Bluno first, beat him, and then went on to take Rob Lucci and eventually beat him. But if we throw Kid into the mix, we're looking at the top 3 supernova here: Luffy, Law, and Kid. So Luffy takes on Kaido, beats him. Law could take on, like I said, Yamato. He could be a big contender, or if not, he could go for someone else, maybe one of Big Mum's like Sweet Commanders, depending on who it could be, or he could possibly take on one of the Toby Roppo. It all really depends. But then Kid as well. Kid, he could kill Yamato. Like, there is that chance. Maybe he won't kill Yamato. Maybe he'll just beat him to a pulp, in which, you know, it'll anger Kaido, and maybe that could also help towards Luffy's advantage, because we know that Kid wants a piece, Law wants a piece, the 3 of them want a piece of him, so it could generally help in their advantage to take out Yamato. And of course, not just that, but like seeing King, Queen, all of like the main top all-stars just getting their asses handed to them, and then Kaido's like, oh, what's going to go on here? And that's including the Big Mum pirates as well. And with recent events in the chapters where we saw Apu take out Luffy and Zoro, like, he didn't ultimately destroy them, but he did get a couple of good hits on them. But then you saw Kid come in and he just like cracked him straight into the face. So we don't know if Apu's been defeated, we don't know if a battle is still going to go on, we don't know how it's going to go, because that's where the chapter ended. But if this is Kid's first fight, my god, I think Kid is going to win this. Like, I think that Apu is probably the perfect opponent, like starting opponent for him before he moves his way up. Like, this could be such an epic battle, and I've wanted to see a lot of Apu anyway, so with Kid going into like his first like big brawling fight within Wano that we're actually going to see, I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited, but then obviously he'll work his way up, so yeah, it'll be interesting to see where it goes on the next chapter. But of course, we'll just have to wait and see when the chapter drops on Sunday. So yeah, hopefully as we get to see more of Eustass Kid in Wano, as we're coming up to like the final battles, it'll be nice to see some more abilities by him, because of course we've had 2 abilities that Oda's dropped. We had Punk Gibson and Punk Rotten, and it seems that Kid has this sort of rock star vibe, like the whole punky vibe. He could have another attack called punk guitar solo or punk guitar, punk drum. Who knows? Like, we'll probably have some sort of like epic stuff coming from Eustass Kid. It all just depends on what Oda wants to drop. I think he's going to be really fun. Also, I want to see Kid use Conqueror's Haki. That would be amazing because that's exactly what we're going to be moving on to. So talking about Kid's Haki, Kid is most likely going to have all three. Like I said in my last video, I definitely want Luffy, Law and Kid to turn up, the three of them, just stay in front of the Yonko and they just kick off. Like, it's already practically kick off. I think when it gets to that point, when you stand there in front of Big Mum and Kaido, it's going to go off. We're going to be losing our minds. It'll be nice to see how strong Kid's Conqueror's Haki is because I've seen it in Pirate Warriors 4. I'm just going to reference that now, and it's cool. The fact that you can use Kid's Conqueror's Haki, that's awesome. So I'm really happy about that. But it'll be nice to see how strong it is because we know that Conqueror's Haki can be improved, just like any other Haki can be improved. So it'll be nice to see how strong that is. So we know that he has got some very dangerous skills here to actually utilize, and not just that, but the rest of his crew as well. So I generally think that after all this is said and done, that he might actually be the second most strongest. I think that when you look at who's going to be like the top of like the creme de la creme, like you have Luffy, the Pirate King, and then you have like the Yonkos. Of course, Luffy, as I said, Pirate King is like the title, but when you look at who's going to be around that, Kid will actually be stronger than Law, like in terms of power. So I think he might be the second strongest, then Law. But that's just my personal opinion, because of course you guys can have your own opinion. You might want to say that Law is going to be stronger than Kid. It all just really depends. So after all this is said and done on Wano, I do believe that Kid, like Law and Luffy, will be on the early stages of a Yonkos here. They're not going to be busting their balls that they're going to go and destroy every single Yonko, which of course Luffy wants to beat him because he needs to, because that's what he wants to do. He's pretty much said that. Kid just wants to kill everyone. Law's just Law. So overall, guys, I really enjoyed doing this Eustass Kid video. He's been someone I've been wanting to do on a video for so long now, and what a way to start on doing a how strong do I think that Eustass Kid is going to be after Wano. So with that being said, guys, I'm going to leave it there. If you liked anything that I had to say and you enjoyed my how strong will Eustass Kid be after Wano video, please give this a big fat thumbs up. I greatly appreciate that. Let me know down in the comments below, how strong do you think he's going to be? Also, make sure to hit the subscribe button. That'd be amazing. Make sure to hit the notification bell so you guys never ever miss a post, and I will see you guys for the next video. Until then, see ya.